Hi, I'm Tyler Locker, driver of the number 418 Blood Eagle 4-cylinder.
And I'm Cale Maven, driver of the number 17 Legend car.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Another week, another episode. Going in the books here, Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. I'm here with my buddy Kel Maven. Kel, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Just get ready to get the week started tomorrow morning. Go to work.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's something you really look forward to.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that, right?
Yeah, but no. So I mean, this weekend, you got to do some racing, and talking to you before the podcast stuff turned out, you had actually a pretty packed night. So what all happened?
Oh yeah, we had five classes of cars at Brush Creek this weekend, and we usually just have three. But we had some steel block late models and um, the Crown Vics, and then we had sport mods, and then we had two classes of legend cars. So that made it kind of interesting because some of those guys that were racing the INEX nationally sanctioned race that they had there, they were racing with us Ohio Valley guys as well. So they would have to change from the dirt tires to the rain tires because we run the asphalt rain tires. So they were changing back and forth and all that stuff. And then we Levi, me and Levi last week we had a terrible weekend. We our cars were horrible. So we tweaked on them this week, and that was probably I know it was for me, and I think I can speak for Levi as well. That this weekend probably was the best those cars have drove all year for us, and so that was a positive point for us. We didn't get the finishes we wanted, but we were, like I always tell you, headed in the right direction.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, it sucks. It's end of the year, and the cars are just starting to feel good. Imagine if you were where you are now in May. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing decent in points, and I'm not really chasing points, but I'm just trying to qualify for the Dirt Track World Championship in October, and you just got to be in the top 15 in that. And I think I'm pretty secure in that. But yeah, just running well last night felt so good. It made it fun. Like the last week was not fun, and this week was actually fun.
Yeah.
So
You got to have those races. You got to have those races where, it seems like you're making a breakthrough. You know what I mean? Because it happens to all of us. We all get down on ourselves, and it doesn't matter if you're doing it for fun or I mean, everybody wants to do good. So when you have
right,
those weeks, like you had last week, um, that can kind of put you down in the dumps because it really you're walking into the unknown now. Like, oh, I hope we get it figured out. Hopefully, we do this or if we do that, I'll make this change here, or the car will feel better. But really, you don't know. That's one thing. Like I always say, racing cars and racing motocross, it's it's the complete opposite. Motocross is 90% practice, 10% race, and cars is 10% like working on the no, my bad. 10%
that's
of racing, 90% working on the car. There's really no practice. You don't practice
right.
much in a car. So I finally got that out. I finally tried to figure out what the heck I
Um,
was saying there.
yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right because it's not like stick and ball sport where you can practice and then go to a game and and put it all to work or to put it all to the game. But racing, you work on the car and then take a chance on what you did going out there.
Yeah, hope.
Hopefully it works.
Yeah, hope. Hoping and praying. That it's gonna work for you, even though you're, you know, going out and gonna do the absolute best that you can, like the fastest you can do it. That's it.
Right.
It's really hard to learn how to. What I tell a lot of guys coming into the sport or newer guys, you know, it's trying to race and learn never works. You're gonna have to throw away races just to get behind somebody and get the notepad and pen out and just work. You know, and see what lines they're taking, see what their car's doing, why your car ain't doing it, but theirs is. Trying to narrow down, where the points you need to make the changes on the car. But if you're trying to,
Right.
learn the car and learn to drive, or try to figure something out just in general, going as fast as you possibly can, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen.
It was it was actually so fun this weekend. Just actually, in the car felt so good, running good. I had some of my best lap times, in qualifying and stuff this week that I've ever had. So that was, promising for the rest of the year and maybe going into next year.
Yeah, I mean, so that you had good lap, the best lap times like out of the whole time racing, or just this year?
Um, this year at Brush Creek, I can't remember what I ran last year, but this year that was probably the best I ran this year. In qualifying. So that was good.
Yeah, good deal. But so I ended up taking a week off from the podcast. I didn't take a week off of racing. I just didn't want to talk about racing. I was pretty down in the slumps, and when they say racing is an emotional roller coaster, they are right. It is nuts. I went from 2 weeks ago losing by a bumper. Last week, I was leading a $1,250 race down in Latrobe. I led 16 laps out of 20, and I broke an axle, and ended up getting rear-ended and breaking some stuff on the rear end. Uh, got it all fixed last Sunday, the axle and all that stuff, and really, I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't want to do it no more. Too many hardships, too many downs, not enough ups. Uh, but this weekend, the piper was paid for sure.
Victory screech!
Yeah. So tell everybody what happened this weekend.
Sorry, Cal, I had to hit my soundboard button. I've been waiting all year to hit the victory screech soundboard button, so I had to do it. We got the dub.
There you go.
We got the dub this weekend. We got the win. Um, it was there is nothing easy about racing when it comes to me. On the way down there, ended up blowing out a tire. I blew one out last week. Coming home, and I checked them all, and they all seemed good. I don't know if they were leaking off or what was going on, but I was only like a mile from the track, so I was able to, less than a mile, so I was able to limp my way to the track and change it at the track. But we should have no problems now. They're all. Well, the other one I bought was brand new, so I don't know why it blew out. But anyways, so how I figured out how to win is something catastrophic's got to happen before I get to the track, Cal.
There you go. Congratulations, man. So
Yeah.
proud of you.
Yeah, it was
All that
crazy.
hard work, man. All that hard work y'all keep doing, and you and Jerry, man, it paid off. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, it was. We'll have the videos up on Facebook of the race and interview and stuff. And I've been racing a while, and I'm kind of like I was trying to explain to my cousin Jerry it's kind of like we were already there, because 2 weeks ago when I came out of four, it felt like I won, because I looked up, I didn't see nobody, and I had that sense like, oh dude, you just won. And then of course it got taken away, and then last week the whole what happened there. So like I said, we were always in the front, we were always doing good, and finally though when I crossed that check, and I'm like, nah, it's yours now. It was pretty surreal, and thinking back on all the late nights in the garage, and where I started this year to where I'm at right now. It's I'm surprised I'm like I said, I'm even still racing, because it has just been beating me up, and got tons of bruises and stuff. But we stuck it out, and and got the win. I believe there was like 24, 25 cars. They ended up taking everybody to the A. Normally they have a B main, but ended up pulling a 35 or 34, something like that. And I had to start. Excuse me. I had to start fifth in the first heat. The track was real wet. because we were the second ones out, and that's not good for my car at all. Not how we have it set up. Really, we need something like a slicker track so I can so my gearing's a little bit better. But ended up getting second, and they inverted and put me in third, so second row inside. Um, Kind of messed up on the first lap a little bit, but still was able to take second and hold second for like a lap or two, and then got around the leader. And then never looked back. It was there was no cautions, and that's not crazy for down there because everybody's such respectable and good drivers. Best in the area up here in Western Pennsylvania, as far as I'm concerned. Um, but yeah, like I said, with respect and how clean they drive, and was able to lead the whole race um, and just took it home. I actually getting out of the car for the interview and pictures and stuff. I was shaking a little bit because I could see everybody up in the stands. Because I mean we were second, everyone was still there. There was a big show there that night, and it was just real cool. And like I said, it's just absolutely crazy. But it was nice to experience that and get it done. And then we went to Tech, and I think it's because it was my first win there. They've been looking at my car the past few weeks, but because it kind of seemed like everyone's saying like I came out of nowhere, but that's not the case. I got video upon video, and I got like 5-6 heat race wins down there this year, and I just couldn't put it together. I couldn't put a full night together, and so they had me in Tech for like a half hour, 35 minutes, checking everything over. They even brought out the rule book, but we're all legal, so I wasn't worried about it, and ended up passing Tech, and it was finally a good ride home.
That's right. That's awesome, man.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I fear if I ever win, I don't know if I'll ever win, but if I ever do, fearing I'm going to forget to thank somebody when I get to victory lane.
Yeah, I did that. So.
Oh, you told me that, but I just fear that, but
Yeah, because I mean, you get there and you're just trying to remember and not, you're trying not to sound like an idiot. You know what I mean? Because I'll stutter and stuff. I do a pretty good job on the podcast where like my stuttering's not as bad. But if I get real super nervous, especially with all them people, listening and watching and stuff, and yeah, I can get tongue tied pretty quick. So I was just sitting there. I was staring right at the ground. I was just staring right at the ground. I was just concentrate on what this guy's saying. But no, it was all overall good deal. And like I said, being in the dumps all year and finally getting it done, and man, it's just so crazy how racing can be.
Worth everything getting that checker flag.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome for sure. But yeah, like I said, the videos, anybody wants to watch them, they'll be up on Facebook and Blood Eagle Racing Facebook page. So check us out on there. Give us a like and a follow. But speaking of, I guess you could say 4-cylinder racing and stuff, talking about my weekend, we got one of my good buddies, Cruz Daughenbaugh. He's coming on the show here with us. He's a fresh guy. He just started racing this year. He's been around racing a long time. His old man raced what we call pier stocks, or like a street stock back in the day. And he's me and him have become real close, real tight over the past few months. Them guys, they've actually helped me with my car. When Levi was up here, that's where we were at. We were over at Cruzin, Tony's house, and getting the car squared away, and they were helping us fix it. So pretty stoked and excited to have him on here. So let's get him on.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, and on the phone, we got Cruz Daughenbaugh. Cruz, what's going on, my brother?
Oh, not too much, buddy. Just a bunch of running around.
Yeah, I hear you. What so just getting right into the interview here. One thing we like to do with all of our guests whenever we get them on, just tell us, how you got into racing, your background, because you've been around a long time, just like me. Just give
Yeah,
us a little background on yourself.
yeah. I mean, my whole family's raced for years. My pap was big into it. He used to race the track up in Evansburg. It's been closed down for a while, but I've watched my dad race, my uncle race Dog Hollow when I was growing up, and then cousin got into it, racing 4 cylinders, so I decided to get a car and see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, because, well, your dad used to race back, just the idea. Well, I know your pap used to race way back in the day, but
Yeah.
your dad used to race back like in the late 2000s, early 2000s, kind of around the same time that I was actually in it whenever I was just a young gun. But which actually I didn't know that, which is kind of cool now knowing, after the fact and stuff. But yeah, that's it too. So, um, well, I'll go ahead and let Kel go ahead and take over here. Kel, I know you had a few questions for him.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, how long has he been racing? I didn't.
How long have I been racing?
Yeah.
This is my first year. First year I've been racing. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, this is my second, so I know the feeling. What what's like the biggest changes you've seen, like from being a fan or a crew member to getting in the car?
The excitement for one.
Yeah,
The biggest change is really I'm not real sure.
Would you say
To tell you the truth.
did it look easier from the stands?
Oh, yeah.
It definitely was completely different than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. So,
Driving the car was definitely a big difference than what I really thought it was gonna be. But yeah, actually the track looks a lot like track looks small in the stands, and when you get out there, it's a lot bigger than what it looks too.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, so what you're saying is the first time you went out, it was kind of like Ricky Bobby, like those the other cars.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it wasn't. I guess I wasn't nervous. I guess you could say that, but everything I thought that it was going to be like was completely different. I mean, you can't really explain,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, how
Because it looks a lot slower up in the stands. And then when
it does. It does.
when you're on the track, it feels like you're doing 1,000 mile an
It
hour.
feels like
Everyone,
you go. Yeah, for sure.
it-
Yeah.
yeah. And the smallest thing, like you see a guy cut up a little bit on a track, it looks like a small move, but really,
Right.
it was it's actually a big move. You know what I mean? You do in the car and stuff, and then
I think the biggest thing that I've was surprised about was the car lengths between. Like on the track, the cars don't look like when you're behind them racing, they don't look like they're that far ahead of you until you watch a video, and they're actually a lot further ahead than what it looks like to me in the car.
yeah, no, that's you're totally right. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, because
That's
if you're riding someone's bumper, I mean, it feels like you're like halfway through their car. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know. Exactly. Yes, that's definitely one of the things I tell people is, it's super easy driving from the stands.
yeah.
Whenever you're on the track, it's a complete 180. Actually, even from looking outside the track in, or if you're in the infield looking out. I don't know if you actually have ever been to any tracks cruise where you're like in the infield, but dude,
Yeah,
I mean, moving.
Oh, I have a blast. Yeah, it's fun. I'd like to try a rear wheel drive just to see the difference. But yeah, it's a good time. I enjoy it. I'm happy I got into it.
Yeah, he's trying to throw a little shade there. That's what he was trying to do. That's why I could tell he said it with a smirk. You know how we get looked at,
Yeah,
Cruz.
yeah.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
how we.
which is great.
Yeah, the way I
Yeah.
look at it, I
What,
mean, oh, go ahead, Cal, go ahead.
no, I was just going to ask Cruz. I mean, I know that Cruz has helped you on your car a little bit and stuff like that, Tyler. But how come Tyler is so fast?
Oh, we don't discuss that on air, Cal. We don't discuss that on air. Oh man, that's too funny. That's too funny.
I think after the win last night, he's got to give some props to you and whoever else was helping that weekend.
Oh, I'm just happy. You know, I didn't know Tyler in the beginning of the season and stuff, and just he's helped me out a lot, and he saved me a lot of money. I tell you what, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to race a couple nights. But no, I just see him like he was just struggling, and nobody really, he didn't seem to really have the help. And as much as he helped me out, I told him just bring the car up the garage, and seems like it's got it dialed in pretty good now.
Yeah, this comes full circle. Everybody helping each other. And,
yeah, that's it.
Before too long, you'll be up front too. So.
Yeah, that's it. I think this year I'm on real. I don't really care to build nothing crazy. I just want to get seat time and figure out the car and figure out how to drive.
Right.
And through the winter, I think I'm gonna bust into the bank account and see what comes out of that.
Right.
Yeah, headaches. But yeah, that's and you're right. We actually had this discussion down at your shop, Cruz, me, you, and your dad. There's not too many. You guys down there, Kel, are pretty tight knit group. You guys help each other out. You guys are willing. Up here, it's really not like that. It's kind of, you have a bunch of lone wolves sometimes, and there's not too many people willing to lend a hand, especially to competitors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's how it is, around. Like you don't have nobody really cares to help you out at all.
Yeah, it's
You got
very
a couple
rare.
people that do. Yeah.
For sure. Because like Cruz said, I didn't know Cruz, and Cruz didn't know me before the season started. And then here we are halfway through the season, towards the end now, and we both helped each other out tremendously, and that just don't ever happen. It's kind of once in a while thing, I guess you could say. But
Right.
no, I know helping Cruz out. I mean, I've seen from the beginning of the year to now. I mean, the learning curve's pretty pretty impressive. I mean, he went from 10th to 8th place. He was kind of in that bubble there to now running top 5 all the time.
Yeah, I tell you what, the first race I ran out there at Daughenbaugh, I started 16th and finished I think 6th or 5th.
Yeah.
The first race ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. Most of the time it's not. What I figured out, it's not the fastest car; it's the most reliable car. You know what I mean?
And that's what it comes down to. I think with my car, it's not. I don't have everything all built up on it that'll break. It's just. I think it just holds together and sticks to the track. I mean, the handling, I think, what I've noticed and learned the most this year is how important the setup is on the car.
Oh yeah, tremendously. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You can have all the horsepower in the world, but if it ain't set up, it ain't gonna do you no good.
Yep. That's I've proven that like 5-6 times this year. You know that. We try something different, and it would just be total garbage. Where I'm like last in the heat, and then we would go back to we're making another change, and next thing you know we're heading to the front. It's just those cars have come a long way, from 10 years ago to now. It's pretty nuts, but yeah, no, I mean
I remember back whenever my dad was racing and I was around all the time. Just a difference. That was 10 years ago, and how much money is put into a 4-cylinder that people don't really see. Money and time. I mean, you work on them cars every day.
Yeah. Oh, unless they're you.
Well, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is you don't ever break. So, I mean, you might take a day to go over the car, but that's about it.
Yeah, and that's. I think honestly, I just been lucking out with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but you're right though. Nobody. Levi figured that out. I mean, he said he said coming up here, he goes, you guys are different up here than back, Ohio way. With the time we put in it.
Years ago, like when my dad raced, it seemed back then everybody was there to help each other out.
Yeah.
Like that's how it used to be. And then now it's you got your little groups of people in the pits that don't even associate.
Yeah. Yep. It's more of a my group against your group is what
Yeah,
is
that's
what.
just how it is.
Some of them will be like that. Now, some tracks are like that, but I mean, you can vouch for me firsthand. Latrobe is not that way. Listen, last night,
No.
I don't know really. I know like maybe 3 people down there. I've probably talked to 3 different drivers, and that's it. And less than a handful. I know that for a fact. Every car, besides like 2 or 3 cars, every one of them gave me a thumbs up. And
Yeah,
I'm
you
a
don't
new
get
guy.
that.
Yeah, you don't get that, especially up, our local tracks. You don't get that at
Right,
all.
right.
At all.
Right, and it kind of sucks, like it kind of doesn't, it's more of like a rival thing than having fun, which, I don't like that. I'm there to just have a great time and race, not, have a problem with anybody and, stuff like that, but
Yeah.
you get that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, just depending on the people, just depending on
Yeah.
how they are. I mean, it's yeah. I get what you're saying, but now hopefully we get you down Latrobe, and because he hasn't raced. Because you haven't went down there to race yet. I can't wait to see what your car will do down Latrobe, and get you squared away down there, because it's different for sure. It's a lot different than like a 3/8 mile or something a little
Yeah,
smaller.
that's the biggest thing that, I think has changed, but I think, I really want to get on there this Saturday and give it a shot.
Yeah, I've only been telling you to come down for I don't know, what, 4
Yeah, I ain't
weeks?
gonna say it, but after what happened this past weekend, I'm not.
Yeah, and
I just say I'm looking for it.
yeah, we can get into that. You know what? Because this sucks, and this is something we can bring up. And Kel, you will be able to relate to this too. When you have, so we're going to be talking about Dog Hollow, and I don't get on here to talk down on tracks or talk down on people. We don't do that. But it's gotten to the point, because I've had some problems at a track called Marion Center, where if anyone has been listening in the last 3 months of the podcast, you always heard me going to Marion Center. Then I stopped because the track isn't. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, so drivers will leave. What really sucks about Dog Hollow is it's right up the road from me and Cruz. It's literally what, Cruz, 10, 15 minutes? I mean, it ain't far.
That's why I like going there. It's not far of a haul. It's comfortable.
Yeah, and another thing too, it's got a good shape. It's not too big.
It's a fun track to run. I mean,
yeah, you can carry some speed. You can. It's got good banking. The tracks can be all right. I'm not a promoter, so I mean I can't dog too much, but when it becomes a problem where everybody's like, oh, come on guys, what's going on here? The officials have been, actually the officials are the whole reason why I quit going. And then
yeah, and that's what it come down to this past Friday.
Yeah.
So what happened was I blew a tire, and one of their rules is that you're allowed to have 2 cautions before you get black flag. Well, this was my first caution that I caused, and so I blew a tire, and I stopped high on the track, so they throw a caution. They black flagged me for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, not saying names, but there's another kid that did the same damn thing I did. The same, come out of turn 4 with the blown tire, slowed down, and they threw a yellow for him. But they wouldn't throw a yellow for me.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things whenever you were telling me that story was I heard how rough the track is. Shout out to my cousin Jordan. I'm glad he's okay. He ended up rolling this past weekend because the track was just so damn rough. So if you got a rough track and the 4 cylinders are out there, we're front wheel drive. We got a lot of pressure on that right front. A lot. That's where all of our weight's in the front. So we got a lot of pressure on the right front, and you're gonna have guys blow tires. Now they don't they say if you blow a tire, we'll throw a caution. We're not gonna give you 2 laps, a courtesy. We're not gonna do that. But we have the tire set up right off the track where we can get it and get back out. But for them just to black flag you like that right off the bat.
Yeah, that blew my mind. And then you're allowed 2 cautions. You're allowed to make 2 cautions before they black flag you. That was my first caution, and they weren't throwing the yellow because I blew a tire. So I stopped so they would.
Yep, and that's not, you can't do something for somebody else and not for the same guy. I mean that's just,
and that's
somebody had to come down from the tower tell the flagman, or the flagman must have told the tower that, you know what I mean. There should have been some communication if there was a lack of one between the tower and that's the problem. It's just the tower don't know what the hell's going on at some tracks, and it runs a good track, has lots of potential. You know, at one time was, I mean, you couldn't get a parking spot in that place at one time.
Yeah.
But now, you know, they're
Yep.
running into the ground, and that sucks as a driver to see a good track get, you know, just have bad calls. I mean, hey, they're gonna have bad calls, you know, 1 week or whatever. But when it's every week, and you can, you can see, that something needs done, and even me, I tried reaching out and talking to the director there and trying to let him know what's going on, and they just let stuff go too far, as the problem, because they want to try to keep the cars, but in return they end up losing cars, and that's just how that works. So I know we're kind of all over the place here with this conversation, but it's something that me and Cruz are, like I said, passionate about, and quite frankly upset because we have a good track so close that we have to pass because we don't, how it's run. Unfortunately, it's just there's too many wrong decisions and not enough right decisions in my mind. But that's what makes it good as a racer. That's why we have power, because we just won't go, and then they'll lose out on that money. It sucks because you know what the end result's going to be. It's going to be the track's going to get shut down, or has to go to new management or something. Or until I hear they start taking care of stuff, the way I look at it is this right here. This is the last thing I'm going to say about it. I go to Dog Hollow. I'm guaranteed I'm going to break something. I'm about guaranteed. Something's going to happen to where it's no fault of my own. I'm going to get run into, hit, something of that nature. But, and then you have, then I go down to Latrobe and end up, never really coming out with a scratch. That's the difference between management right there. So that's the last thing I'm going to say about it. But we ended up just losing Cruz on the call. That's okay though, because we were on the 20-minute mark anyhow. So we'll definitely have Cruz back on here and stuff. But it was nice talking to him and having him on here with us. Kel, you still got me?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a good little
Yeah.
in his first year in racing.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And he's come a long way in within the year. I mean, he's got a good car, and I know what he has, and he doesn't have much, when it comes to power and stuff. But he got a good at handling car, and he's a good driver, and had some bumps and bruises on the way. This is the rest of us, but it hasn't been bad. So we're actually going to take a break here, and we will be right back.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, and we're back after that nice little break there with the interview with Cruz Daughenbaugh. Like I said, got cut a little short. He lost some service, but we'll have him back on here before you know it, for sure. Hell of a guy, and really enjoyed the getting to know him over this past race season, and having him help and me help him like we just talked about, and that was great. That was great. But
yeah, it seems like a good guy, man. He's helping you out. A few weeks ago when Levi was up there, and I, pushed you towards the front.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
The little work y'all did, or
yeah,
work y'all did.
Yeah, what it and what it came down to is, like he said, it's Jerry's been super crucial and with helping me with the car, and then we kind of both got burnt out, and then Jerry had work, and I kind of, well, if I want to race, I gotta do this, and I gotta get on the grind, and the grind will wear you out for sure. So it's nice having people to help just to do the stuff that I want to do that really sometimes you just don't get the motivation to do. It's just with work schedule and stuff, you just don't get there. And like I said, it's not like I don't put the work in. It's just trying to find the time sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. But
that hard work pays off, though. So
yeah,
thanks for Cruz for coming on and talking to us, and we'll check back with him. Check back with him at the end of the year and see how he ended up.
yeah, for sure. And I know sometimes, Kel, you got to be like, oh man, we're having one of your friends on the podcast because sometimes we just get to talking, and I just, you know what I mean? We just start to talk, and I forget to, you know, leave you chime in just because we're in such a deep conversation. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good, man. Y'all have a lot in common there, racing those front wheel drives and stuff. So
Yeah,
I don't know much
quit
about
talking
them.
down to us, racing those front wheel drives.
I'm not talking down. I'm saying because y'all are a different type of car than what we're used to. So
Yeah, yeah,
I guess Levi learned a little bit when he come up there. So
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. But getting into news here, I know local news. I don't got much. I don't got much. A lot of tracks canceled. I know what 3 tracks. 3 tracks around me ended up canceling, and I think there was a bunch of cars at Marion Center. Um, but that's about it. And then, like I said, I was down the Trobe. But talking SCDRA stuff, I know I missed last week. They had 2 back-to-back races. Well, they had a back-to-back race. One at Thunder Mountain that unfortunately got canceled out, and the one at Hidden Valley. I believe Jeff Hubbard won at Hidden Valley, if I'm not mistaken.
wow.
I know one of the Hubbards won. That's all I know. But shout out to him. He's got a good fast car. But the next race for SCDRA Northeast is going to be at actually down by your way. I'm pretty sure it's down by your way. Hilltop Speedway in Millersburg, Ohio. 2,500 to win. It's looking like it's going to be a 2-day show, 17th and 18th of September. So,
Oh, okay.
people, they got some.
You gonna go to it?
No, I'm just gonna go to the Crooksville one, at Midway, the big one that everybody's gonna go to. It's just not gonna lie, funds are low. Funds are low. We had a real rough year, so as everyone knows. I mean, we finally got a dub, but
Yeah.
it ain't much whenever you've had 4 months of bad luck. So it's just it's unfortunate. I didn't think the year was gonna go this way, but it did. But if you check out,
Turning it around.
yeah, turning it around, we are in the right direction, not heading towards the right direction, Cal. We're in the right direction. But if you check out the SCDRA Northeast Facebook page, and if any drivers out there, I know, like I said, for the Havoc race, there's gonna be a lot of guys come from south, east, west, north, everywhere. They got the driver's registration form posted up on the Facebook page, so you go ahead and get that, and you can print that off. But yeah, so I think that's all I got from news. Really, not much really going on.
Yeah.
So what do you got, Kel?
Friday night, the Tri-State Legend Car Series had 31 cars at Muller Raceway Park in Williamsburg, Ohio. They had 31 cars. That's a lot. And one of the guys from North Carolina came up, and Billy Workman Jr., he won that race. And then Saturday night, we had 2 classes of legend cars. We had the INEX sanctioned class, and then we had our Ohio Valley Legend Car Series class. And Billy Workman won the INEX race. And then, how we have 2 features at Brush Creek. Billy won one of those, and Joe Ryan Osborne won the other one, which they're team cars. And they kind of put it to us last night. So, but it was fun because, like I said earlier, mine and Levi's cars ran a whole lot better. So we're heading in the right direction.
Yep.
And then next week, our Ohio Valley Legend Car Series is racing at 35 Raceway in Frankfort, Ohio. So that'll be fun going to that. And then, in other news, I don't know if anybody saw it a few weeks ago. A guy that was on our episode 7, Drake Troutman, his father passed away a few weeks ago, and I think it was Friday night. He went out there and set fast time and
Yeah,
won the
this
race.
past Friday. This past Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, he set fast
Were they
time at Roaring Knob. Yep.
Knob, yeah, fast time, and then he ended up winning the race. So that was pretty cool for him. I mean, getting out there, he used to his dad being there for everything, and he wasn't. So obviously, but getting out there and putting your nose to the grind and taking care of some business, and he did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a shame. And, it's unfortunate. Condolences go out to him for sure.
Yeah, way too young, way too young. 39 years old.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
dad.
It's a tough one. That's for sure. And it sucks, especially his Drake's passion is racing, and so is his father. So obviously they had a pretty close connection there, and it's just one of those things that's just a terrible tragedy, and hopefully Drake can get through it. That's tough, and that's really I got no words for it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, for sure. But one person I'd like to we got to obviously thank our sponsors. We got First Guardian, Cole DeMint over there. You hear us every week talk about him. Make sure you go check out Facebook on Facebook, or look up First Guardian. He's on all different kind of social media platforms. Get yourself peace of mind. Really, that should be his slogan. But yeah, go ahead and check out what he's got going on over there. Get yourself that code so the first responders know what's going on. If you're allergic to anything, if you'd happen to have an accident, and it's just a great overall deal. So make sure you go check out him. And like I said, it's First Guardian. And another thing too is Blood Eagle Racing Podcast at Gmail. Get a hold of us there, or through the Facebook page at Blood Eagle Racing. For any questions, like I said, we're still going to be doing the Q&A segment, and so any questions anybody has, go ahead and send us. Like I said, that's Blood Eagle Racing at Gmail, Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. I'm sorry, at gmail.com,
Right.
or message us on the Facebook page, Blood Eagle Racing. But I think that's going to be it here for this episode. Appreciate everybody tuning in and listening to us. It's just something me and Cal like to do, and we're glad y'all come on to listen to us. And mostly it's complaining, but this week it was good news.
That's good news. I did win a heat race this weekend, so
Yeah,
that was pretty exciting. So, but I still want that feature win. But thanks, Cruz, for coming on, and thank Cole DeMint for the sponsorship of the show, and can't wait till next week.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, we'll catch everybody later.
Worldwide.